You woke up this morning and you knew exactly what time it was. Before you even opened your eyes, your phone was already telling you 6:47 a.m., 14 minutes before your alarm. You lay there anyway, calculating whether 14 minutes of broken sleep was worth it or whether you should just give up and make coffee. Now take all of that away. No phone, no alarm, no clock on the wall, no microwave blinking the time at you from across the kitchen, no watch, no notification, no schedule, no meeting at 9, just you and the world outside and absolutely no idea what time it is. Except that is not quite right either, because ancient humans always knew what time it was. Not in minutes and seconds, not in the way you check your phone 17 times before noon, but they knew in a way that was deeper and more accurate than most people realize. And the tools they used were not small glowing rectangles. They were everything around them. Let us start with the most obvious one, the sun, because the sun is a clock, a massive burning clock that has been running on the same schedule for 4.5 billion years and never once needed a battery change. Ancient humans read the sun the way you read a clock face. The angle of light in the morning told them how much of the day was ahead. The position of the sun at midday told them they were exactly halfway through the daylight hours. The color of the sky as the sun dropped told them how much time was left before dark. And darkness in the ancient world was a real deadline. Not a suggestion, not an inconvenience, a hard stop. You needed to be near shelter and fire before dark because the things that hunted at night did not care what your schedule looked like. But the sun only works during the day, so what about the night, the stars? Ancient humans did not just look at the night sky and see pretty lights. They saw a clock, a calendar, a navigation system, and a story all at once. Specific star clusters rose and set at specific times through the night. If you knew your stars, you could tell within an hour what time it was just by looking up. Different constellations appeared at different seasons. The Pleiades rising at dawn meant one thing. Orion crossing overhead meant another. The night sky was not decoration. It was information. Dense, precise, reliable information that had been memorized and passed down across generations like the most important knowledge a person could carry. Then there was the moon. The moon runs on a 29.5-day cycle without variation. Ancient humans tracked this religiously, not because they were poetic about it, because the moon told them where they were in the month. A full moon meant reliable light for traveling and hunting at night. A new moon meant darkness and danger. And the cycle itself was one of the earliest calendars humans ever had. Count the moons, track the pattern, know where you are in the year. Some of the oldest carved objects ever found have notch marks on them that researchers believe track the lunar cycle. People were counting moons and carving the count into bone at least 30,000 years ago. But time was not just something ancient humans read in the sky. They felt it in their bodies. And this is the part modern people find genuinely surprising. The human body has its own clock, a biological clock so precise that researchers studying it won a Nobel Prize in 2017. Your body knows when it is morning before you open your eyes. It knows when it is time to eat before your stomach growls. It knows when nightfall is coming and starts preparing your brain for sleep hours before you lie down. Ancient humans living without artificial light were completely in sync with this internal clock in a way most modern people simply are not. They went to sleep when it got dark. They woke when light came. Their bodies regulated hunger energy and alertness on a cycle that matched the planet perfectly. They were not guessing what time it was. They were living inside the time. Animals help too. This sounds strange until you think about it. Birds sing at specific times of day. Different species call at dawn, at midday, and at dusk on reliable schedules. Insects make noise at specific hours. Certain animals move at dawn and go still at midday and move again before dusk. Ancient humans who paid attention to the world around them had a chorus of biological clocks telling them the time from every direction. A particular bird starting to call meant it was a certain hour, the same way an alarm means a certain hour to you. The natural world was not silent. It was a symphony of time signals. Seasons were the biggest clock of all. Ancient humans did not just know what time of day it was. They knew what time of year it was with a precision that supported their entire survival. When specific plants bloomed, they knew it was time to move. When certain animals migrated, they knew winter was coming. When the days started getting shorter, they knew they had a fixed amount of time to prepare before everything got harder. The seasons were not a background fact. They were the most important information in the world. Miss the migration, miss the harvest, miss the window to store food, and you did not just have a bad season, you died. Some ancient humans went even further and built tools to track time more precisely. Stonehenge in England was aligned so precisely with the summer and winter solstices that it works as a giant calendar marking the exact turning points of the year. Similar structures were built across Europe, Asia, and the Americas. Ancient people were not just passively reading time from nature, they were building instruments to measure it more accurately. Stone instruments that still work perfectly today, thousands of years after the people who built them are gone. And here's the thing that gets lost when we talk about ancient timekeeping. They did not need minutes. Minutes are a modern obsession born from schedules and trains and meetings and the specific anxiety of being late to something. Ancient humans measured time in units that actually mattered for their lives. How much daylight is left? How many days until winter? How many moons since the last hunt? How long until the river floods? These were the real questions, and they had precise answers to all of them. We invented clocks because we invented schedules. And we invented schedules because we invented the idea that everyone needed to be doing the same thing at the same time. Ancient humans did not have that problem. They had a different relationship with time. Not a worse one, just different, slower, more connected to what was actually happening around them, more honest about what time really is. Not a number on a screen, but the position of light in the sky and the temperature of the air and the sound of birds at dawn and the feeling in your body when it knows before you do that the day is ending. Your phone tells you the time 17 times a day. Your ancestors read it in everything, and they were never late for what actually mattered.